Good morning, guys, and welcome to a video I've been looking forward to for quite some time now. A day I think is going to be really nice and exciting because we're going to take the new Volvo EX90 from this charging station, Ionity in Casalegas, about an hour and 20 minutes south of Madrid. So we're in the Madrid area, but not in the city. And we're going to drive it to Portugal. We're going to go to a place called Cascais, about half an hour south of Lisbon. And what we're going to do there will maybe be in a future video, but there's probably an embargo, but I'm going there to drive the brand new Seeker 7X, which is a brand that is a cousin to Volvo under the Geely umbrella. Though that is built on the SEA platform, this is built on the SPA2 platform. So a completely different platform, completely different car. But I'm pretty excited to take this new EX90 on a 544 kilometer road trip from Spain to Portugal. I had never been to Portugal before. We've been about a few times down this road, about 100 kilometers, doing a range test of this, the Polestar 3, and also a battle comparison. So we have a very good idea of what range and efficiency we can expect out of this car today. But I suspect that we're going to go a little bit faster because the speed limit is like 120 kilometers an hour here. And usually I go about 10 over, but when I do my range test, I do it at 120 kilometers an hour. So maybe the range is going to be a little bit less once we, get on the road and have a little bit higher speeds, but I'm expecting still to get good range out of this car. We're going to charge the EX90 up to 100%. And normally you shouldn't, charge your EV up to 100%, but we are going on a long trip. And, we don't really need to, but I want to. And the charge to 100% is actually pretty quick on this. I think it's said from 50%, it would take like 40 minutes. We were getting decent charge speed, but if you come closer now, you can see we are at 78% stated charge, and we're still charging at 89 kilowatts. So that is actually pretty decent. This car has a 107 kilowatt hour battery pack. So that is quite large, but it is a big, large 7-seat, 3-row SUV with 21-inch wheels and is almost 3 tons. So it's a very comfortable cruiser. More on that later. But we're going to charge to 100%. So, we have enough charge in case we have to do a detour, in case there are problems with any chargers. Again, I've never been, further down the road than 100 kilometers. I'm going to show you guys the alternatives for charging once we hop into the car. But yeah, that's today's plan. The weather's going to be nice. It's around like 12, 13 degrees Celsius now. The forecast says once we get to Lisbon, it's going to be about 20 degrees. Here yesterday we had like 26. So yeah, it's looking to be a really nice day to take the new EX90 on a long road trip. So if you come here, you can see that the car now shows 25 minutes to get to 100%. So I think we're going to go to 100%. I really don't need it, but yeah, it's going to be fine. So I'm going to show you guys where we're going today. The route planner here is amazing. I mean, this is what we first saw with the Polestar 2 a few years ago, this Android-based infotainment system, and then with the Volvo XC40, which is now called the EX40. So we're going to go to this hotel here, and the car says we need to, do 2 charging stops. And one is at the Ionity charging station in Estremoz in Portugal, and this one Zunder. I don't know where that is. I don't have any other apps. So what we do, there is an alternative, which is the Ionity charging station here in Merida, which is about 211 kilometers away. But today is just a leisure trip. Yesterday I filmed 3 videos. This car is actually, I checked today. We're going to status here. This car has done 657 kilometers, and we drove it from the pickup point in San Sebastian, north of Madrid, which is about 150 kilometers from here. And also I drove it down and up this road. Yeah, so I think this is a brand new car. When I do the calculations, this had done like 100 kilometers. So this is a brand new EX90 twin performance. So that is pretty interesting. So today is just a leisure trip. I already filmed 3 videos. We're going to film the Seeker 7X tomorrow, and today I just need to take it a little bit easy because later in the week also we're going to do more of these range tests and comparison videos, and yeah, there's a lot in stock. So once we hit the 100%, we're at 82 now. it's going to be, I really like the fact that it shows the charge to 100% and it only takes 20 minutes. Like other cars I tested recently, like the Audi A6 e-tron, that took such a long time going from 95 to 100%, like 40 minutes, which is insane. As soon as we hit 100%, I disconnected from the charger and we hit the road. Making our way southwest towards Merida, the Spanish landscape was greener and more beautiful than I've been used to from other places like Costa Blanca. I love driving in new places and new countries, experiencing new roads and new landscapes. The temperature kept creeping up, but according to the wind map, we also had a headwind of a few meters per second that would affect range. We're now 35 minutes away from our first charging stop at the Ionity chargers in Merida, and we're going to stop and eat somewhere before we tried stopping up the road here. But on this road, and a lot of places in Spain, at least in this area, they don't have, you know, your typical McDonald's, KFC, Burger King that we may be used to other places in Europe, which is fine. But some of the problem is that we stopped here at a local, you know, restaurant alongside the Repsol station, and they don't speak English and the menus aren't in English, and my Spanish is, you know, a bit rusty, and you know, it didn't look particularly delightful, the meals they had. So we're like, okay, let's go to Merida and we're gonna go to McDonald's. That's what we're gonna do. I hope the station is close to where we are going to eat. If not, we'll see, you know, what we do. But we don't have, you know, we're not in a rush. And also, if you take a look at here, this took me a second to actually understand, but it says WEST. And I'm like, WEST? Yeah, that's Western European Standard Time, or yeah, something like that. I don't know. CET is Central European Time. So that's Western European Time. It has to be Western European Time. I didn't even cross my mind that we're moving into a different time zone, but that means we actually have an hour more than I thought we had. So yeah, again, we're not in a rush. This is a leisure trip, and that's nice after just, I think I've been working for like 15 days in a row now, or 16 days in a row. Just a week ago, I was in Prague at the Skoda Enyaq launch, and just been crazy times since then. But okay, I just wanted to quickly touch upon this car. We're currently going like 130 kilometers an hour. And even though the asphalt quality isn't the smoothest here, or the road quality, this is still so quiet and comfortable. Yeah, not sure if we can see so much out of the windscreen because like it's covered in bugs. But it's so quiet and comfortable, this car. It really is a really nice road trip machine. And let's take a look at the consumption. Yeah, 32 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, but I think we've been climbing in elevation. We've been doing around 130 to 140 kilometers an hour. So going, you know, a little fast because we want to get there early to check into the hotel, and I want to edit a video and, you know, just rest a little bit before the evening. It's going to be dinner and an event, and then the test drives tomorrow with the Zeekr 7X. So yeah, I mean, I don't think that's particularly bad. We've been going fast. This is a big car, and we've been climbing up and down in elevation. So yeah, not bad at all. We're now here at the Ionity charging station in Merida, and the plan was actually to do this one and only charging stop. I think the car wanted us to charge for like 36 minutes, and then we would arrive at our hotel with 13%. But I've driven a little bit fast today, so the car predicted we would arrive here with like 36 to 37% stated charge. And you know, when I was staying around the speed limit or a little bit above the speed limit, that was the case. But we drove a little bit faster, and also we drove to get something to eat at the McDonald's over here. So we've been on a little bit of a detour, like in total, like maybe 20 minutes. So that's also adds to the distance. So instead of arriving here with 36 or 37, we arrived here with 29. So if we only do this charging stop, the car wants us to charge to 96% stated charge, and that would take like 45 minutes. I don't want to do that instead. So what we've done is that we've added the Ionity charging station in Extremos in Portugal. And the car now says we only have to charge now to 63% for another 10 minutes. We're currently charging at 165 kilowatts. So yeah, I think that's a much faster strategy, because if we add those 23 to these 10, that's 33 instead of like 45 or 50 minutes. So we're going to save a little bit of time there, and we're going to check out another charging station. So yeah, so far so good. Route Planner is pretty easy to use. The roads are nice. The only thing is that in Norway and, you know, in Scandinavia and maybe in Germany and also other places in Western Europe where I've driven a lot, I'm kind of used to service stations having chargers, and also service stations having, you know, McDonald's, maybe more like fast food. Here in Spain, things are a little bit more spread out. Like at this charging station, there's basically nothing around here. There's a gas station and an Aldi over there, but you know, that's about it. We topped up until the car said we'd arrive at Ionity in Estremoz with 16% battery. As we moved westward on the Iberian Peninsula, our surroundings became greener and greener, and the EX90 didn't miss a beat, being a pleasure to drive. But little did we know, the trip was about to turn into anything but pleasant, as we're about to experience issue after issue. Welcome to Portugal, guys. We're not far into the country. We're about an hour and a half from Lisbon, and we're going to stop here at the Ionity chargers in Estremoz. So it's kind of curious, you know, I was fiddling around with the navigation, and there's a westward direction where we're headed now, and also an eastward direction. And that's the one I chose, so I was so confused, like the car saying we would arrive at the hotel like an hour later and with a lot less charge, and that's why at the last charging stop it wanted us to charge to so much more than I was anticipating. So that's why I put it into the navigation system again, and we're here. And it seems like in Portugal the Ionity chargers are at service stations, because this is a Cepsa, and I think they're, oh, there we go, Ionity chargers over here. That is cool. And I mean, there's so many bugs on the windscreen that I don't know if you guys can even look out. But yeah, so now we've entered, you know, this western time zone of Europe, and it looks like we're going to be at the hotel like 4, and that was the original plan, like 3:45, and we're going to be there at 4 instead of like 5, which I was like, why we're going to be that late? But that was because I navigated to the one on the other side. I've seen that in Germany, where they have, you know, east or west or south or north. Possibly it said it here, but I was, you know, just not paying attention, or I don't know my Portuguese. Yeah, I know very little in Portuguese. So if you're from Portugal and you're watching my channel, let me know in the comment section down below. I'm curious to know. I know a few of you are from Portugal, but maybe not as many as from Spain and other countries in Europe. Okay. We're having problems starting the charger here. So I've been using the Ionity charging app basically everywhere in Europe without any issues at all. I mean, sometimes the app is a bit buggy, but you know, with this, you open up the app and then this is the problem. It says we're charging somewhere at Casalegas earlier. I've done this like 100 times to turn on and off my phone, not sure what's going on, and it chooses the one in Casalegas, the one outside of Madrid. When I do this, it chooses, it shows the navigation, or it uses the GPS, but there are no chargers here. And even when I try to scan, it can't find it. So I don't know, I'll probably just have to tap my card, my payment card, if that's even a possibility. Yeah, maybe that's not even possible. What do we do then? English? Continue? Direct payment? Oh. App or direct payment? Please make the payment first. Yeah, well, I have the app and the app just won't start. Yeah. That's a real issue. How do we solve that? I've never experienced that before. It just shows Ionity Casalegas. We're not there. That's not where we are. And when I try to search it, Estremoz, there we go. No chargers. I mean, we have 2 here, and there are 2 on the other side of the road. How is it not finding the goddamn chargers? I have no idea what's going on. We're in the EU, we're still in the EU. My subscription service on my phone works everywhere in the EU. There are no weirdities. I have no idea what's going on. This was an unexpected error that I wasn't expecting at all with the Ionity charging app that's been so smooth and flawless to use. But that's why we do these videos, and that's why we do these trips to, well, uncover issues like this. So I don't know, maybe you have to call customer services. I don't know. We'll find a solution, but yeah, pretty frustrating. Appen defaulter til et sted jeg har vært I Spania tidligere I dag. Og så klarer han liksom ikke finne laderen jeg står ved. Han klarer ikke finne det på kartet. Når jeg skanner koden så finner han det ikke, men jeg står tydeligvis foran 2 Ionity-ladere, altså det ganske sånn tydelig.
Ok, på selve ladestasjonen skal det stå noen sifre helt øverst til høyre.
Ja.
IOY-E, og så det 6 siffer.
424001.
Og betalingsmetoden din?
Ja, det er via appen, ja. Det stemmer. Via appen. Ja, nå hører jeg skapet her at relene begynner å klikke, og så står det 'preparing to charge', 'setting up communication'. Så det ser ut som dette her kommer til å fungere. Jeg må si det, jeg gikk ifra å være veldig irritert og frustrert til at dette løser seg på 2 sekunder. Og det var helt ypperlig at du snakker norsk også. Det må jo lette stresset når folk er på ferie, vil jeg tro. Kan jeg forvente dette problemet igjen?
Nei, altså, det kan jo oppstå, det hender seg det skjer, men nå får du 20 kWh gratis fra meg, og det er nok til at du kommer deg til neste stasjon.
Ja, ok.
Det er lov til å gi.
Ja, men tusen takk for hjelpen da. Ok, perfekt du. Ok, hei.
Bare hyggelig. Ha det bra da. Hei.
Okay, so that is actually quite impressive. I have to say I went from being annoyed, frustrated, and a little bit worried about how we were going to get to Lisbon till he just started the charger in like a few minutes and he spoke Norwegian. I mean, that is like, if I'm on holiday here, I have the car full of kids and I'm stressed and it's like 35 degrees outside. The last thing I want to do is try to start explaining, you know, I mean, English is probably fine for most people, but I mean, that is stressful enough. But what if I got somebody Portuguese or whatever? Yeah, okay, that is actually Ionity. I mean, for things are going to happen, there are going to be faults, there are going to be issues. I've experienced that very seldom, but you know, we live in a world where we have tech, that's going to happen. And I'm super impressed now that they solved it that fast. So he's giving me 20 kilowatt hours free. And he said after that, you can try it again. If not, I have to try another charger. But I think that's going to get us probably where we want to go. If not, we're going to try something else. But yeah, okay. That's a nice way to fix it. I'm actually impressed. Okay, so we went to the station there, went to the toilet, bought something to drink, got back here, and the car said we were done charging. We were at like 42%. He had given us 21 kilowatt hours. And then I hopped in the car and it said we would be, or arrive at the hotel with -5% state of charge. So I called, tried to start the charging again with my app, but I got the same bug, same, you know, error where the car thought we were charging in Casalegas where we left this morning. So closed the app again, tried to turn on and off my phone, didn't work. So called up the guy again and he said, okay, I'm going to give you another 20 kilowatt hours, enough to get to your hotel. And I'm like, so, but what's the issue here? And he's like, no, most likely it looks like there's a bug with your app. I can't do anything from here. So he recommended me to delete the app and then, you know, reinstall it, which is fine. And I'm really glad he didn't, you know, ask me to do it while I'm here because we have, you know, this launch we have to attend. We left earlier so we could get to the hotel early where we could rest and work. So it's nice that he just, I'm just going to give you another 20 kilowatt hours so you can get to your destination and, you know, check your app tomorrow before you leave the hotel going back here because we're going to pass here. The plan was to charge here, but on the other side. So, you know, it's nice that I now know what to do if there is an issue and I can check that before we leave, right? And I can also check that this evening. So he's given us another up to 60%. I think we're going to go like another 10%. So we should arrive at the hotel with 10 and hopefully there is charging at the hotel. If not, we'll figure something out. But yeah, I mean, I haven't again experienced this issue at all other places. So hopefully this is like a one-time or one-day thing and it's, you know, has to do with the app and not the Ionity charging network. That optimism I have is about to get crushed because it turns out that this is only the start of our problems. Just down the road, I wanted to stop and try another charger to see how it would be coming to Portugal as a tourist from another country. Would it be easy or would it be hard to charge? Okay guys, so as I said in our last charging stop, we only charged until the car said we were going to ride with 10%. And again, we've had headwinds and also been driving a little bit fast and unknown roads. So like, you have to take this with a grain of salt. So I thought it would be a cool idea to stop and charge. We're about 50 minutes away from the hotel to see how easy it is when you don't have an app, when you haven't been here before. So I'm not sure. It says present your card. So I'm going to try my payment card. No, so that does not work actually. So there's a QR code here. So we'll try that. So maybe you have to download an app, a Galp app. And we're going to keep on rolling to see how long it takes until we're able to, you know, do this. At least, you know, in Spain, we could, on most chargers, we could just tap to pay. But this is the second charger we've been here in Portugal. The first Ionity charger, we couldn't do that. So it's gonna give us English. That's nice. And then it's a little bit slow. English and continue. No charging, okay. Oh, this is only help. Okay, so can we start charging from here? Okay, so it's a chat bot. In order to help, please indicate the charging point code. Oh, this is the one. Okay, so so it says I get it. PLM dash 00027. Okay. It's not valid. So I have to do all caps. Okay. PLM dash 00027. Let's try that again. Okay, thank you. We have identified that you're at, yes. Charging rate is. To be able to help you, select one of the options. Which one? Charge rate, okay. Fixed term. To be able to help you, select one of the options. What options? Ultra fast charging, where you can charge 2 vehicles. Exactly, I understand that. So it wants me to do left or right then, left or left. This was very complicated. Because which is which one? So we're gonna give up. This is completely useless. There are no numbers except for this. What options? There are no options. They didn't give me any options? This is not good, Galp Electric. We press this ID. There are no other numbers. Usually on all chargers, you have a number for each of the plugs. There should be an ID number here and an ID number here. Obviously there isn't, and both are actually called L. So there's no like 0012 left or right, right? Okay, let's on to the next one then. Okay, so before leaving, we've decided to try to download an app, but the problem is it's in Portuguese, the app. And usually when you download download an app, it's in the language of your phone. My phone is in Norwegian. At least it's in English. But here also, like, yeah, look at the options. Register, Spain, Portugal, Belgium. There's no Norway. So I don't know, this is not gonna work. We tried downloading the app. I don't even know if it's the right one. The provider is called Galp or Galp Electric. I downloaded an app called Galp, or Mundo Galp. That was the only one I found, so no. Off to the next one then. That's not a good start for Portugal. The first charger we tried with an app I have, it won't work. And then now, you can't even download an app. That's not good. Let's hope the next one is better. We're on the road again now, about 30 kilometers outside of Lisbon, 60 kilometers from our destination, and we're gonna arrive there with no problem, with 7% stated charge, and there are destination chargers and fast chargers, but I wanna try the charging network here. So this is pretty nice. You can see all the chargers here on the map, which is that's pretty decent, and it sets the speed. So easily we can, choose this one, EDP commercial, and let's just add that as a stop and try that one. Hopefully that will work better. But why was that a massive detour? That was an insane detour. Is that the way to go? All the way over there? Okay, then we'll try it. So, I mean, we missed an exit, detour, 10, 15 kilometers. So now we're down to 15% stated charge, and now I'm starting to get a little bit nervous. So we passed like a 50 kilowatt charger, these old ABB chargers over here. And then I see there's one fast one here and another medium. So we should be able to find a working one. But now we're going to be like at least delayed half an hour, which annoys me because 2 out of 2 chargers we have tested didn't want to work. So let's hope third time's the charm, and yeah, crossing my fingers. We'll see in about a second. So we're here at another charge provider called EDP. Not sure, the screen here is a little bit hard to read. I'm assuming we can't use our payment card. This is not, a payment terminal, but download EDP charge. Okay, so there's at least an app we can download. So let's try that, which is already a lot better than the one we were at. So of course, if you're here as a tourist, that, you have to have data, right? Roaming. So I can do the app from the App Store. There's a link there. Okay, so I can get it right away, which is good. And we can install it. The app won't show the actual, we're not allowed to choose the charger. Like, this thing is so buggy. And like, yeah. I don't know, and it's also in Portuguese. Again, like that other website I tried. Nothing's happening, so we can close the app again. EDP charge. This is, the problem. You can't come here as a tourist or as, I don't know, business traveling from somewhere else. I already made an account, but it's, it's in Portuguese, right? I already did this. I already registered my phone number. But I bypassed this, and then here's the charger, but I can't choose it. I understand I failed to log in, but the problem is, I'll show you guys. It's red. There's a red light, so I'm guessing it's not even working, this CCS plug. So now we can only cross our fingers that we can make it to the hotel and just hope we can charge there. Yeah, this is really bad. This turned out to be a well-planned, good trip. We had, charging stops planned, and turned out to be a nightmare. 3 out of 3 chargers not working. I mean, tell me that red means this is working. Of course not, it doesn't. Have you ever gone up to, or have you ever tried a charger that's red and works? No, I don't think so. So let's hop in, cross our fingers we have enough charge to get to the hotel, but I don't think so. I don't know what we're gonna do, I don't know. Because of our last detour, we basically had a 0% buffer to get to the hotel, and I was generally getting nervous that we wouldn't be able to make it at all. I put my videographer Louise to work, and she downloaded an app that would actually let us charge at different charge point operators. So we once again made another charging stop and crossed our fingers that we would be able to put some electricity into the EX90. Okay, finally guys, we figured this out, and there's probably gonna be comments and voiceover by me during this video, and you guys know what's going on before us. But that is why we do these real world tests, to find out what the issues are in the real world and not the real world. So, Louise, she's as a passenger, and she was really put to work. She Googled and found out quite a few things. First off, there's an app called Mio that should work with several charge providers. So that's what we've downloaded. And in combination with just choosing some random fast charger in the navigation system, we navigated here right off the main highway on our way to the hotel. This now works. So we're here with 9% stated charge. We're charging at 72 kilowatts, which, isn't the most, but I mean, it's good enough. It's good enough. We just need a little charge just to be able to get to the hotel. So charging at 72 kilowatts, I really don't care now. I mean, they could have charged me like 20 euros for a kilowatt hour because I just wanted some charge, and it was just getting really, really frustrating not being able to charge anything at all. And we're getting later and later to the hotel. We traveled early because we wanted to, get there early. Now we're like an hour late, and we're frustrated, we're hungry, we're thirsty, we have to go to the toilet, and just about everything. But yeah, we're at least charging at 72 kilowatts at this beautiful PowerDodge is the provider, but it's a ChemPower charger. Yeah, ChemPower, long-time sponsor here on the channel, so you can trust ChemPower when you need a charge. But okay, we're gonna charge here maybe like for 10-15 minutes, just get enough charge, and then get the EX90 to the hotel. And yeah, obviously Ionity chargers don't work in Portugal while using the app. Seems to be an issue for several years. Louise looked at her app, it didn't work, so it's not my app where it's this bug. I also deleted the app, downloaded the app again, got a new version of the app, and that also didn't work. You can't even find the chargers, on the charge map. So guys, we're gonna wrap up here now and see you guys at the hotel. We're gonna do an outro there, a summation of the car and stuff like that. But it's getting dark. No, it's not getting dark. It's getting late and I'm getting tired and hungry. So see you at the hotel, guys. Turns out that the Ionity charging app for some reason works everywhere in Europe except for in Portugal. And I guarantee you that the guy I spoke to at customer service knew this. So it turns out that Ionity didn't actually offer good customer service, because if they did, they would have told me what was going on and that I should download the Mio charging app as they state on their website. After putting 10% charge into the EX90, we finally, after a long, hard, and frustrating trip, arrived at the hotel. We made it, guys, to the hotel. We got here very late. It's actually the day after. I didn't even have time to film an outro yesterday because we arrived so late that I just had time to hand over the keys for the car, check into the hotel, and then we were off to the presentation of the Zeekr 7X. So that video will be out later, guys. So put the date on the screen. There is an embargo there. But we arrived here with, I don't remember how much percent. We arrived here with 13 or 14% topped off, just 10% extra at, the charging station here in Lisbon. But I have to say, this is such an awesome and beautiful car to take on a long trip. Yes, consumption turned out to be pretty high, 31 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, but we've been driving fast. It's a large car. It's been warm. I don't think that is necessarily that bad real world range, but yeah, it's such a champ, this car. Comfortable, quiet, great, sound system, and decent charging speed, but also good range with such a big battery. It's just a beautiful car to take on a road trip. And yeah, I'm going to put all the information out. We used quite a bit of energy. I'm going to put what we paid for it also at the different providers. And yeah, despite, the issues we had here in Portugal that we were able to work out with the app, we're now headed back towards Madrid with a fully charged EX90, and hopefully we don't have to charge before we're back into Spain, because the charging here in Portugal hasn't been that great. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this road trip from Madrid to Lisbon in the EX90, because despite all the issues, I had a blast. It is such an awesome and beautiful car. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please drop me a thumbs up down below, and for more car content, as always, please subscribe. See you guys later, and goodbye.